Hey guys, welcome back to Cracked Housing Fab, and today we're going to get started on clean cut the drift mower.
So we're going to take off the rear end, get all that stuff taken apart, build a whole rear axle mount. Before we do that though, we're going to get all this gunk cleaned out of here, power wash it off, so we see what we're dealing with.
Alright, let's get to it.
Walk right in, all you sinners and saints. Tonight's the night we're gonna take off these chains. Some moves will never mend. It came with a warning, now we're all out of time. This romance with ignorance has left us.
So we got everything all cleaned up and stripped down, obviously, as you would have just seen. Got the rear end off, power washed it.
It was nasty.
So I guess the next plan is we want to take these spindles and move them up to like more of the center of the axle. Yeah, so it brings everything down, like the whole frame down lower. So that's the next plan, I think, and then we're gonna start putting together the frame for the rear.
Yeah, get that rear axle mounted. We were taking it all apart to get some of the stuff cleaned out. We took out this whole battery tray compartment. You'll see in here, it's a ton of room now. Put the fuel tank in there, or a battery for lights, whatever we want to do. So we took out the battery tray, and there was this wall here, like a little firewall kind of thing. We were trying to take this pulley out, and the only way to get to it was to take all that out. But now we have room for either scooting the motor back further, fuel tank, battery for lights later on, so that'll work out good. Built this rear frame section, and then somewhere to mount that rear axle on. Let's start doing that.
Alright guys, there was a couple little brackets on the bottom of this we wanted to cut off. One thing I wanted to say, so we're going to do our best to link like any tools that we're using in the videos, like all the Milwaukee stuff that we're using. We'll throw links down in the description. So if you guys are interested in this stuff, like this is very, very handy. It's the Milwaukee Fuel. It'll do 6.5 and it'll do 4.5 and 6-inch wheels. So it's pretty cool. Obviously flat discs. But yeah, any of the stuff you see us using, we're going to do our best to put it down below. And that will help support the channel too, because we will get a portion of that. So if you guys buy a link through our description, we get a chunk of that. So that'll help out the channel and be able to do cool stuff. All right, so we have some 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch, just flat bar. So our plan is to kind of make a new spindle here. What we want to do is come out, we figured maybe 3 or 3.25 inches, and then obviously match the angle of this spindle, and then tie back in up here. So that way you kind of have a C that hooks into there, and that all moves with the steering. And then we'll take our existing axle and weld that on. We figured out the angle before we cut it off, so the angle will match again, and we'll get that guy welded on there, and then we should have a much lower front suspension or front axle than we had before.
All right, so we've got our pieces cut here to make our new spindle holders. Extend it out. We're going to tack the top one. We got these in line. We got a straight edge across here, and we know that they're not out this way. And then once we get these on, we're going to figure out this next piece so we can line up that piece. And then we'll weld everything up. And then we'll get our spindle here. We're going to cut them off, mount them in there. That way everything lines up.
Cullen got all this stuff tacked up, and then we set our axle. So actually, the axle's little stubs that were on the old lawnmower original axle were so wore, they were just like grooves worn in it because the wheel was just so bad. Yeah, this guy here, you can see like, it's probably hard to tell on camera, but it's all wore out. Anyways, so I had some other 3/4 inch stock that we put on here. We welded it in. We set our angle. So we have the same angle as what it was welded here. So everything is back. The geometry should be back to what it was, except for it's pushed out a little bit. So we added probably 1.5 inches maybe from what it was, maybe 1 inch. Yeah, we got that all set up. So this side is tacked and pretty much all done. Now we just have to work on getting the axle on this side, and then we're gonna finish weld everything up here.
All right, so we got it tacked up, put the wheels on, and look how low this sucker is now. I mean, Sean's just psyched out of his mind right now how low it is.
We couldn't wait. We had to get it on the ground and see what it looks like. And it's like even better than I thought it was going to be.
So these are just tacked. We'll take it back on the table and we'll weld them all the way up so it's solid. We just want to make sure everything lined up good. Wheels weren't all crooked and wonky, but saw that after sitting on here, we're going to have to scoot these back. That way our feet still reach them. We thought we were going to have to stretch, well, we're stretching it out, but we noticed when we turn the wheels all the way, they bump here because we push these out. Now when it turns, it bumps it, but these are just bolted on. We'll move them back. Relocate this eventually to here. That'll be your little brake so you can lock up the rear, and then
yeah, it's kind of the cool like the e-brake in a drift car.
yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get this all welded in, and then we're going to start cutting some. We're not sure what material yet for the rear frame, but that'll be next.
Alright, so we got these welded up. Rear axle's mounted on. We think it's going to work alright. It's going to work alright.
It's going to work all right. I'm not worried about it.
Welded up here. Height's all good. And you get to see us put it on the ground for the first time.
Here, let's bring you over here so you can see.
Nice welds on there. These are all bolted up. Sprocket right here in the center. The chain's going to run. Maybe the top half of it goes up inside there and the bottom through the bottom.
Yeah, so we kind of have, like, we welded these tabs kind of here. We're just going to have to kind of play it by ear right now to see. Yeah, we want the chain to go down the middle. We'll see how that all plays out.
See if we can get the brake caliper to stay there in the middle.
Yeah,
It's all tucked inside of its own little...
Yeah, it's all kind of protected. So yeah, you would have just watched the time lapse, obviously, of what we just did. And we just got everything all mounted. So now we actually have a full rolling chassis.
Okay. Hey, here we go.
First time on the ground is a full chassis.
Alright, see if it takes the weight. Oh yeah, it's not even. Okay, give it a push. See how it steers. Oh yeah, the tires are flat. It rolls.
Yeah, it rolls nice. Yeah, definitely gonna bring those pedals back. Which is fine because that'll work out nice.
How low that sucker is now.
Alright, we got it sitting on the wheels for the first time. We just rolled it back and forth a little bit. It's freaking cool. It's so low to the ground. This is exactly what we were picturing. And one quick reminder, like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. Helps the YouTube algorithm, and we really appreciate that.
All right, so in the next episode, we're gonna hopefully get the motor mounted, get that situated, get the chain drive figured out where the chain's gonna go. Maybe get this support underneath here figured out, get all this tidied up because it's just got a couple welds here.
Yeah, still a lot to do, but we're getting there. This is the fun part, and then cool thing is being able to drive it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.